Hello.
Hey guys.
Hello, everybody. How are you all doing? Praise the Lord. We're on our Maximizing Mondays.
Yes, happy Monday.
Yes, today is the Lord's Day. Right. It's just funny since this quarantine started, like the first couple of weeks, it was like, it's Monday.
Uh-huh.
Now it's like you're getting that same, like, oh, it's Monday.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, before it's like, cool, it's not going to last that long. It's Monday. And I don't have to do as much. And now it's like, well, yeah, it's Monday.
My Mondays now are extremely busy.
Yeah. Yes. I think, we had a little tease with those first 2 weeks where we were actually up here a lot taping stuff, but it didn't feel like we were working that much. Now it feels like we're really digging in and working.
Yeah. I woke up and was like, what happened? Like,
right. I think it's because it was exciting because it was different. Now we're getting back. Now we're getting into the monotony phase of building and maintaining.
Yeah.
Which means that we got to do another rebirth soon.
Mm-hmm.
Creating different types of content to stimulate that. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Nope. You're right.
And those of y'all coming in, we're trying to show you some behind the scenes conversations and stuff, which will help motivate your life too. Hey Charlotte, hey Angela.
Charlotte.
I think that most people fail in success because they don't like the monotony of building, because we associate success with passion and pleasure. Mm-hmm. When the reality is, if you really want to be successful, you have to get used to the tedious monotony of doing the same thing over
and over
when you don't have the passion for it.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it.
It really is, because when it's new, it's exciting, it's fun. Then it's like, I actually got to work to keep this thing going. It's like, it ain't fun no more because I got to work.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's necessary. But what helps with your passion is the constant creativity. So, hey Angela, hey Bubba's Juice, and all the other people coming in. Welcome, y'all.
Bubba's Juice. I think that's April.
Oh, hi, April. I think that's where, you never want to hit a plateau, because then you'll start losing it.
Mm-hmm.
Once you reach that plateau, you got to recreate again, new passion. So I think that's why we're trying to constantly push for new content, new ideas, to keep the passion.
Yeah, I keep them coming back.
Yeah, it's like a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You get in a relationship, the monotony of your normal day can get boring in a relationship. That's why you got to keep throwing stuff in there to keep the logs of the fire going.
Mm-hmm.
So you won't get completely bored and out of your mind in your relationship.
Right.
So we're just bantering now and talking business as you guys are coming in. But what's interesting though? I'm starting to wake up now.
Uh-oh.
The pandemic, they're saying divorce rates are going up.
Really?
Yeah, because people actually have to be in the house.
Spending time together.
So it's like there's an extreme. Either they're doing great, couples are actually having more time for each other, and they're spending more time with each other, and they're loving it, or they just can't stand each other. But again, that shows that there was there was something going on before the pandemic, and the pandemic just revealed the issues that were already there already.
Mm-hmm.
So if I hated you before and I barely spent time with you, I really can't stand you now. And I'm more time with you.
Crazy. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, because you would think being able to spend time with each other, you'd be like, oh, great.
Well, I say people are getting to know each other more and figuring out that there's some things that they don't like.
Yeah, because it's like, if I'm with you, you think about it like this: you wake up, especially if you have kids. You wake up in the morning, you get ready for work, get your kids ready for school. They're at school, you're at work. You come home from work, you make sure kids' dinner is done. Kids are eating. You help them with homework. By the time they go to sleep, you probably only have 10 or 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour to be with each other. And in that preparation, you're already preparing for what you're going to wear the next day,
right.
Get your mind ready for the next day. So you're really not spending that much quality time.
Mm-hmm.
then to being forced to spend 6, 7, 8 hours with somebody. You're like,
all day.
you
I need
know,
to go back to work.
right. I gotta go back to work.
That's the truth, though.
Yeah, it happens. See, this is why I tell people before you get married, don't fall in love with the fairy tale. We talked about this last week. You have to actually want to be married to the person.
Right.
It's not enough just to love them. You got to like them after it's over too, and like them through the marriage. Because, like Deborah said, there's a lot of people that are married that don't like each other.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is because they lost the consistency of the monotony of being good to each other, and they stopped doing things to keep the spark going.
Right.
You know, you kind of get used to it and get lazy.
Like stop dating each other.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not like, yo, I'm gonna stop dating her, or I'm gonna stop dating him. It's life gets in the way. When you start having kids and work, you're just trying to survive the day. You know, and you forget about each other. That's actually you can slip right into a business arrangement.
Right.
And miss the power of your relationship.
Right. So Bubba Juice said you have to be friends first, and you got to continue to date one another.
You have to.
So setting that time aside to get to know each other.
Right. That's right, Miss Kim. It's 24 hours. It's 24 hours.
No escaping it.
You're with the person from sun up, sundown, and all, but you know what? A lot of couples, I heard a couple talk about this. They felt like they had to do everything together. And it's like, well, if you're not watching this movie with me, or if you're not watching this TV show with me, you don't really care about me. When the reality is couples should be okay enough, secure in the relationship enough.
Right.
You could be in the bedroom watching TV. Somebody could be downstairs watching something else. And then y'all come together every now and then. You go eat, you have fun, talk, and then y'all go in separate.
Okay.
You don't have to be together every single moment of the day. You know, and that some people don't feel that comfortable in a relationship. They feel like, well, you rejected me. You don't want to be around me. I don't think there's nothing wrong for married people to want some space from each other from time to time.
Right. Or even like, I know people who can't be in silence. So like if they're like in a car driving together, someone has to talk. I was like, it's okay to be quiet sometimes. And for me, that means that you guys are true friends. If you can, you know, not have to talk all the time to.
Yes, Lord. It's that requirement of, I got to say something. It's too quiet. It's insecure. No. Bishop said they're insecure in the silence. And, well, obviously don't want to talk to me because they're not talking. Well, sometimes like.
Not that serious.
Yeah, it's not that deep. Now, I will say that, you know, I'm not trying to be, you know, nowadays you got to be careful when you talk about gender roles and stuff. Most men don't struggle with that compared to women.
Really?
Yes. Most men don't. We'll sit in the car with the music on, enjoy ourselves in our thoughts, and don't have to say a word. When a woman is in a man with a car, not all, but there are a lot. It's like, well, he's not saying nothing, and just out of nowhere. So the greens the other day. Right. But for some people, talking brings security. Yeah. And you have to find that balance of being able to be quiet with each other and being able to talk with each other. But to me, I don't believe that as couples, you have to do everything together. It's okay to have hobbies outside of each other. And do things outside of each other. That's
right. Because you guys are still your own person. So
yeah. As long as it's not negatively affecting you, then we good. You know? And yeah, I'm as I said, there's a majority and there are the exceptions. There are some guys that talk and they are uncomfortable in silence. They just have to hear the voice. I gotta say something, and you can tell it's killing them. I just gotta talk. It's like shh.
Yeah, I know. I've got in trouble for that before, for not talking enough. Where I'm like, I just don't got nothing to say. Like,
you know, I
don't like you.
You know what it is. It's okay, how can I say this? Your eyes say a lot.
You think so? I've heard that too.
Yes, and I think the curiosity is you're not saying nothing, but you're thinking something.
Okay.
You don't tell the truth, so it's like, what are you thinking about? What's wrong? Talk to me. But I think the part of
Careful.
I am being careful. I am totally being careful. Take this off of you, just in
You're
general.
good. You're good.
Just in general. I think that we have to be understanding enough of the person that we're with
Mhm.
to know what brings security to that person.
Mhm.
And then to know on the other side, if the one is not that much of a talker, to give them space to, you know what it is sometimes with people that don't talk a lot. I'm not talking about they don't talk because they have like major issues and they have trust issues. I'm not talking about that. But some people are just actually not as talkative.
Right.
Sometimes you giving them space actually gives them more of an ability to talk
Mhm.
because it doesn't feel forced. It's not,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
and the one that's not as much of a talker needs to understand this person needs to be to talk
Mhm.
to bring security. But see, that's where most marriages fail because it's not about what's best for the other person. It's about, I don't feel like talking right now.
Right.
Or I want to talk right now.
Uh-huh.
You got to find that medium, and it's hard to find sometimes. Yeah. But I can see you sitting there thinking and not saying nothing. Just,
I get that from my mom.
I know.
So, like, what are some things then that people can do to find that balance without it feeling so forced?
I think that that's something that's worked on and discovered through trial and error. That's the hard part. There is no like script for it because for what works for one marriage may not work for the next one.
Mhm.
Works for this may not work for this. So that's it takes time. But here's my thing: if you always consider the person that you're with, you'll make sure you go above and beyond to meet the needs of that person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then you also love somebody enough to say, you know what, this person needs about 5 minutes. Let me give them their 5 minutes.
Mhm.
They
Gotta
need
be able to
10.
read the cues, like
Yeah, read the cues. Like you've been home with the kids all day. Go over there and chill for a while. I got
Mhm.
this. You know what I'm saying? Or for instance, you know, if somebody's home, oh, praise the Lord. Got a Chick-fil-A order.
Nice.
Speaking of, Tiff just texted me. She know what I like. She knows. So, what was I talking about?
I don't know. I forgot. I got caught up on the Chick-fil-A because they have good macaroni and cheese.
You know, Chick-fil-A's macaroni and cheese is actually
It's
pretty good.
good.
Surprisingly, it was good.
Uh-huh.
What were we just talking about? Oh my goodness. Oh,
Balance.
finding that balance
Uh-huh.
in those cues. Oh, for instance, so say for instance, you got kids at home, right? And one spouse has been home with the kids all day and they just want some adult conversation.
Mhm.
The one spouse been at work all day. The one spouse has been at work all day, can't come home and be like, don't talk to me at all. When this person has been talking to children for
Right.
6 hours straight. And then the person that's been with the kids all day, like, let me give them 10 minutes first to get the house, get
Mhm.
settled, get relaxed, and then talk.
Right.
You know, but the person needs to understand this person is interacting with children all day long. They just want to have an adult conversation.
Mhm.
You know, but again, marriage is learning to live for the other person and not necessarily yourself.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of marriages fail because people are selfish.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know if it has anything to do with, like, rushing into it, but I feel like sometimes, maybe even more so for people in my age bracket, they don't keep that in mind that it's not just about them.
That's because y'all grew up in a very selfish, self-driven culture.
Yeah, it's
Everything's
true.
about me. And when you grow up in a culture, everything's about me and your safe space.
Mhm.
Which, you know, safe. You know, colleges have those safe spaces now because you won't hurt my feelings and microaggressions and all that stuff like that.
Yeah, it's true, very selfish.
I think we went too far. Before the bully could do whatever to the kid.
Mhm.
Now we're teaching, you know, overprotect people
Right.
and not how to fight the bully back. Yes, the bully needs to change, but there are some people who never change.
Right.
You need to learn to be able to fight back too. And I'm not saying like physical, but also learn to have a tough enough skin to be able to deal with,
Handle it.
you know, because some people, they're so sensitive, you know, like this one guy, he got fired from his job and his
Mhm.
mom went up to the job to talk to the boss to see why he got fired. This is
That's
this
crazy
is a
to
grown
me.
man.
That is crazy.
A grown man. What are you doing?
Yeah. But that's not necessarily our fault. That's the parent.
That's the parent. As I'm saying, that's the parent's fault for not teaching the children. Life is hard. It's
Mhm.
going to be difficult. And everybody in the world is not going to adjust to your sensitivities.
Mhm.
Because sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Because we think if you have people now, the whole world has to adjust to what they're sensitive for. But the reality is that if the world had to adjust to everybody's sensitivities, we would never know what to do because what you're sensitive to is different than what I'm sensitive to. We
Nothing
can't
would
figure
get
it all
done.
out. Nothing would
Yeah.
get done. I mean, we need to be sensitive to people, but I mean, we're at
Balance.
the top now.
So I saw a question from Bubba Juice. How do I know if this man is from God? Like her prayers have been answered.
Well, I would say that, of course, the person needs to be saved. Good relationship with God, but that's not the only determining factor. Just because somebody has the Holy Ghost doesn't mean they're right for you.
Right.
I think time to get to know the person, and you can't create a fit. They just happen. But at the end of the day, time always reveals whether somebody's for you or not for you. I mean, there are a lot of other cues there. They help you become better as a person. They drive you closer to God. They're understanding. They meet your needs. They're selfless. They're willing to grow with you. They make mistakes and apologize. They take care of you. All those basic little things. But it's not like you meet somebody the first day and say, oh, that's the person that God sent me. That stuff is discovered the longer you're with each other to see, not just can I live with this for the next 4 months, can I live with this for the rest of my life?
Mm-hmm.
But again, you can't create a fit. You have to create the teamwork, but you can't create a fit.
Okay.
If you have to force the fit, I got a problem with that.
So thinking like if you're in a relationship with someone who isn't saved or isn't in, what's the word I'm looking for? Isn't quite right with God all the way.
Mhm.
Like, should you just get out of the relationship, or do you think there's room to grow in that aspect?
You're talking about just dating?
Dating or even marriage? Because I know people who, married to people outside of the religion and whatnot.
Well, now that they're married, they're in it now. So
Mhm.
it's like, you're in it. I would say if you're from dating, if somebody doesn't have the same value system as you, why are you dating them?
Mhm.
Well, they're going to change. You can't change anybody. You can't even change yourself. Instead of people just being honest and saying, you know what? I know this person doesn't have the same values as me. I just want them.
Mhm.
I know it's wrong, but I want to be with them. Most people don't have the guts to say that. So they put it on
Yeah.
God and say, God's going to change him. He's going to work it out. I'm going to pray for them. I'm going to fast for them. And you've been praying and fasting. And there are times where people have changed, but the question is, do you want to go through that whole entire process?
Right.
Because somebody's going to compromise. And usually it's not the unsaved one or the non-committed one. It's the saved and committed one that's going to compromise. Because some way, somehow, you want to do something
Mhm.
that goes against yourself and your relationship with God to make this thing work.
Mhm.
So yes, I don't think that we should be unequally yoked, as the scriptures say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Lord, we turned into a relationship Mondays
I
now.
know. Here we go.
But it works though. We'll get into it anyway. We can banter.
So you have to think about, when I heard what you just said, is you have to think about what you're willing to give up from yourself.
Say it again.
You have to think about what you're willing to give up from yourself, like compromise yourself.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, in order to stay with somebody, I have to make some adjustments to be with that person.
Right.
And if somebody's the only one always compromising, that's a raw deal.
Mhm.
Somebody's going to be resentful. Somebody's going to be offended. Something's going to change. And I'm a proponent of it. And I say it all the time. The successful relationship is not just having somebody. Some people just want to have somebody, and then you're frustrated because all you got is a body,
Mhm.
and that's it. And the person doesn't contribute much, and you're frustrated long term because we just feel like we need to have somebody. And it's easier to feel lonely by yourself than it is to be lonely with somebody else. Feeling lonely when you're with somebody is hard,
Mhm.
very hard.
So what if it's someone you've been in a relationship for years and you're new to being Christian?
Well, I mean, in that case, if like say they're married, right? One
Uh-huh.
gets saved and the other one isn't. Paul says that the one that is saved is supposed to model by example, not just in
Mhm.
word, an example of what this change is like. They have to see how salvation is going to make them a better spouse.
Gotcha.
The problem is that Paul says, don't do a lot of talking, do it by example. The problem is if, say I'm married and my wife isn't, right?
Mhm.
I can't be at the church all day and all night and not coming home to take the trash out, do this, do that. They need to see that me being with God is making me better for them.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is you got so many people, I'm going to church, ain't no dinner, the kids looking jacked up, bills ain't getting paid. And the person's like, you getting saved made you a worse spouse. And that's not what it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you lead by example, and the spouse may get saved, the spouse may never get saved, but there's a way to work both out.
Right.
I remember,
go ahead.
I remember in the class, and a lady said that. She said, you know, my husband doesn't go to church. He's not saved. And she said, but look, I make sure he got this ready. And before I leave the house, stuff is taken care of. So and so, I'll be back. And he was good with it because why? She was taking care. He was seeing how her being with God made her a better spouse to him.
Right.
And if you being saved makes you a worse person to other people, something's wrong with that dynamic.
Mm-hmm. It kind of reminds me of what Dr. Twigg said yesterday. She laid out like 3 ways, I guess, of uncommon vision. Mm-hmm. And one of them was vision for your family and having everything be at peace, you know, providing and kind of building that up.
Yeah. That was a statement or a question, or you want to talk about it?
No, it was a statement.
But it's true though. And to me, if salvation has to make you a better person, you know, it's time out for us just saying, here are the 2 great commandments: love God with all your heart and love your neighbor. All right. Love God, love your neighbor. And the thing is, you can't choose which one you want. You can't choose to love God, not love your neighbor, not love God. Both of them go together. Because if I love him, I'll love people better. So loving God should make me more forgiving. Loving God should make me more merciful towards people. Loving God should give me more patience with people. You know, it should. Paul says it like this: I got all these gifts, but I don't have love. I don't have anything. Mm-hmm. So how I treat people matters when it comes to God. And that's important.
Yeah. So
we have to really let the fruit of the Spirit is a determining factor of how close I am to Jesus. Mm-hmm. Not how much you dance, not how much you shout. Though Jesus says they'll know that you're my disciples by how well you love.
Right.
Spiritual maturity is not in, you know, you're preaching and you're speaking in tongues and all that stuff. He said, you got love. You don't have love. You don't have nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's true. A lot of people don't think about that. They think like how you're acting in church, but if you're going out and mistreating people, like it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it absolutely means nothing. So a part of our maximized opportunities is how are we treating people too? Are we moody? And you know, I know I'm moody.
We all have our days.
I have to check myself quite frequently. and you got to know your sensitivities. Do your feelings get hurt very easily? Mm-hmm. You know, and those things are true. And you can't let people pay for, you know, all your feelings.
Right.
You know, it's not everybody's fault that you mad.
Mm-hmm. Got to take some ownership in it too.
Yeah.
So there's another question, a relationship question from Letitia. Should you date more than one person?
Well, I mean, I think there's some people that like say they're in the beginning of a relationship with somebody, and they're not in a relationship. They're just kind of like getting to know each other, and they're seeing other people. And I mean, as long as you don't put yourself into crazy situations where you got a lineup of like 10 people you date at one time, you know. But it's crazy to think that if somebody goes on the first date with somebody, that they're going to be exclusive on that first date when they could be, you know, get to know people. I would call it, let's call it getting to know people instead of dating.
Okay.
With a person. You're getting to know people and you're kind of narrowing your options down. But I mean, I would say use discretion if you're doing that. You know, be wise. Mm-hmm. Don't make no commitments. Don't act like you're in a relationship when you know you're not. But don't lead people on and make them think it's more than what it is.
I was going to say, you got to make it clear.
Make it clear. You know, we're just talking to each other. I talk to other people. You talk to other people. And, you know, it's just, you know, use some wisdom. Don't be out here pimping and stuff. That's not right.
No, The Bachelor.
Yeah, don't be out here pimping. Yeah, you The Bachelor trying. You know, come on now. This ain't no TV show. This is life. People don't get their feelings hurt. But, you know, people get to know people and they have the right to. But again, that's balance there. Don't be out here pimping and stuff. Come on. Mm-hmm.
No flavor of love.
Right. You got a whole stable over here. All these different people and stuff. No,
each day of the week.
But a lot of people get their feelings hurt because it's like they're not clearing up front. that, I just want to get to know you. There's no major commitments here. We're just talking.
Mm-hmm.
And, but then you
Mm-hmm.
can't do relationship things and not expect feelings to come.
Right.
You can't do that. That's not fair to the other person.
Ramona says, be direct, clear, and establish friendship.
Yeah, because there are people who will say, I don't want a relationship, but everything they do speaks relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not fair to the other person. If we're just talking, it's just talking. That's it. But be honest though.
Yeah.
Because we want to do relationship things and then get mad when the other person catches feelings. Well, hello? That's like people that lie. I don't want a relationship. I just want a friend. Well, what do you want this friend to do? Take me out, talk to me all the time, spend
That's
time.
a relationship.
That's a relationship.
Hello. Yeah. So what do you think, like, the whole like online dating like culture, what do you think that does to that?
I'm not a big online dating person. Only reason why, because you got catfish, you can't see the person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big proponent of it, and there are people that have success stories on it, but it's hard to have a relationship with somebody over the computer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you happen to meet somebody online, then y'all start spending time together in person.
Right.
And stuff starts to work out. But again, I know we're in the online community. I'm old school when it comes to this stuff. I want to be able to see you,
right,
talk to you in person.
I don't know. It's just something different about it.
Yeah. You can hide behind a computer, body language, tone, texture, all that stuff, your eyes, all that. I can't get that on the phone. That's in person.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's saying, well, most people are saying over the computer.
Hopefully.
Right. And here's the other thing too. And I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, but if I only see you from here up, and then when I see you in person, it's like, I need to be able to know what you look like. And,
what happened?
And people have a right, look, saved or not, people
Mm-hmm.
have a right to their physical preference.
Mm-hmm.
Anointed and unattractive is not going to work for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're mad at the person, you're not going to say, oh, this is such an anointed person. Who this ugly? That's what you're going to think.
Yeah.
People have a right to their physical preference.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And everybody has one.
Yeah.
Everybody has. Our problem is this. We get mad. We have a preference and then get mad when we're not other people's preference.
Right.
Which is insane.
I mean, it's just the way it is.
It's insane. I want somebody tall, but you don't like me because I'm short.
But people are very
Good.
no, the people are very like not particular, but if you don't fit a certain mold,
Right.
they negate everything else. You could be missing out on a really nice person.
That is true. I do agree with that, but I also have to look at the person too.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is nobody's somebody's 100%. Nobody's a person's 100% physical look.
Mm-hmm.
That's impossible, and it's asinine, and it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The goal is this person close enough? And then watch this. As I get to know their person,
Right.
they become more attractive to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody in this room, well, even watching online, it's just me and you in this room. Right. Me and you and online. Somebody, when you first met them, wasn't that attractive to you. And the more you started to talk to them, you were like,
okay.
Right. Because their personality brought an attraction in. So
Right.
I think, again, there's that fine balance there.
Mm-hmm.
But there are people do have a right to, like what they like.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't fit that person's model, then that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's one less person you got to worry about. So there has to be a physical connection. There has to be a mental and a spiritual connection. And all three of those have to work together. But if somebody's like too particular, I want somebody that's exactly 6'2", but this guy's 6'1.5". He's 5 inches off. I can't do this, bro.
See, okay, so I'm telling on myself now.
Huh?
I'm going to tell on myself now.
You're like that?
I'm not like that. I have an age. I have an age thing. Like I don't want to be with someone who's younger than me.
Why?
So, I don't know. I know it doesn't make any type of sense, but that just I don't like it.
So now let's qualify this. Are you talking about like a year younger, a few years younger? Because there's a radius. Because if the person's like you're 6 months older than them,
For me, it's been like a month. I know it's bad. I'm
Huh?
I'm working on it.
Well, where did that come from?
I don't know.
A month? If you're a
Yeah.
month older than the person, you automatically.
I mean, of course, like you said before, the more I get to know you, then fine, I can work through some
But
things.
that is not
Fix
a.
your face, Pastor Nick.
I thought you were talking about like 4 years, 5 years,
I
6
didn't
years.
say it made sense.
It makes no sense at all. So a month. Wait a minute. So again, goes back to you say some people are very particular about what they want,
Uh-huh.
right? Right. A month. That makes no
I
sense.
know, I know. It's just the idea, and it's probably just more like a society thing. But
Why?
like the idea, I don't want to be like old, like the older person.
But now, and I get if you said, you know what?
Bishop, like he made a crack up on you and your wife about how
Oh,
she's older.
yeah, she's older than me. I make fun of it too. Yeah, my
Oh,
wife
that's
is
what
older.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
yeah. I'm fine with that. I like older women. I'm good. I'm saying, but she's only a few months older than me, so we joke about
Yeah.
it. Her birthday's in July, mine's in November.
Hmm.
But I mean, I get if it was like you're what turning 30.
Thank you. Yes.
We talked about it last week. You're turning you're turning 30, and the guy's 25. I can see if you said, you know what, that 5 year gap is not something.
That's a big age difference.
That's a big age difference.
Yeah.
Versus, watch how this changes. But versus if you're 40 and 35, the perception of that is not as bad.
Hmm.
Versus when you're 25 and 30 or 45 and 50, that doesn't seem as bad.
Hmm.
But a month, that's the thing that's bugging me. So if your birthday is a month,
Yeah. Well, Keisha just said it. She said she felt the same way, so I'm not alone.
no,
Thank you,
no.
Keisha.
I'm not against you saying that you want somebody your age or older.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking about a month. A month is nothing. A month is nothing. Again,
No, I agree. I agree.
if you said 2 years, you'd be 30, and you want somebody that's 29 or 30, I can give you that.
Uh-huh.
All day long. But a month.
I know. I told you it makes no sense. I'm working through it. But a month yesterday.
Where
So
did
Keisha
that come
said,
from? Where
I
did that
don't
come
know.
from?
I need to go to counseling.
You need to go to counseling.
Yeah. So Keisha said most men are less mature than women. So that's I guess that's what the thought process is too.
A month.
Maybe not a month, but
A month.
what do you think on that? On most men being less mature than women?
I mean, I think it's true. I mean, a lot of men mature more, but then also at the same time too. Let's think about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that, and it's something I'm learning. Women may mature faster than a man in certain areas, but they're more immature than men in other areas.
Mm-hmm.
So a man may be more mature in this area, a woman's more mature in this area. And what we both look at and say this person's immature, when the reality is this person's actually more mature from me than I am in this area. Now, a lot of people say that women are more mature in relationships, but here's my question. Majority of my counseling appointments with women that have some trouble is because they're making bad relationship choices. So where's the maturity in that? You ain't got nothing to say, huh?
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
If you're that mature, you be making better decisions.
it's true. I'm with you, Pastor Nick.
I think maybe once a woman gets in the relationship with somebody good, she's more willing. I think again, it goes back to we talked about it last week. I mean, I don't have all the answers, y'all. We just talking that women are more taught how to care, how to mature, how to take care of somebody else, how to do all those things. When men aren't taught that, we're taught how to take care of ourselves more than somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that it's a false premise that women are more mature than men in every area. Because again, I've talked to a lot of women. They make some bad maturity decisions, and it shows no maturity at all.
So that's what Dre just kind of said, that he's seen cases where a younger woman complain about an older man being too mature, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you can't have what you want. Like, I remember back in high school, not all the girls, but a lot of girls were like, I ain't dating nobody my age. I'm more mature than these young boys, and I want an older guy. And they end up dating an older guy, and they end up getting played. That wasn't a mature choice.
Mm-hmm.
I want somebody in college. I'm a senior, or I'm in 10th grade. I want a senior in high school because these freshmen and sophomores are too immature. And then you end up getting played. Not a mature choice.
Right.
I think we need to label maturity in a better way.
Right.
So I mean, the age gap thing, again, that's a right to a preference. That if you don't want somebody too young, that's your preference. That's great, unless God sends somebody to you. Let's say God did send somebody to you. I mean, fit the stuff that you liked, and he just happened to be a year and a half younger than you. Are you gonna be like,
no, of course not.
Bro, you're a year and a half younger than me.
No.
You're good to me. You treat me right, but you're too young.
No, of course not.
She's a liar.
I'm sitting here on the pulpit, okay? I'm not gonna lie here.
How do we get talking about relationships again? We're supposed to be talking about something else.
Yeah, so we're supposed to be talking about you going back to school. Let's talk about that.
I need to I got it. Oh, why you try to get the pressure off you now?
I'm not under pressure. I'm good. Who's calling me?
Wait, y'all know Maya. Just get on her. Every time you see her, a month? A month?
No, I'm just saying. Of course, I wouldn't be like, no, I'm not going to date you because you're a month younger than I. But it is a holdup that I've had where I'm like,
That is a strange thing. Where did that come from?
I think because, oh gosh, it's going to make me sound even more sappy. Like, I don't want to be old and he still be younger. So that's going back to if it was a bigger age gap.
Oh, that's an ego thing. Okay.
But like, yeah, it is. I'm admitting to it. Shoot.
Oh, wait a minute. But who's to say that everybody keep typing. Keep typing.
I'll type it too.
but who's to say there's anything wrong with getting older? Number one.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, it's not like if he's the right man, he's not gonna make it feel like you're his mom and he's your son. Right. The right one, he'd be a year younger than you and still be like, I ain't scared of you, but it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I won't say anymore because I don't get in trouble on here. But
so you're going back to school?
We really talking about who's in a good relationship flow.
So what other questions do they have?
Hey, y'all any more relationship questions before we move on? Somebody posted something earlier.
But a month.
Y'all ain't never gonna let this thing down. Like, they're all like, Well, I can't find it. Deborah Niles posted something about where is it at? This was way up here. The pressure on people to be married. We talked about that some last week, didn't we? The pressure, and that is hard because people, especially at a certain age, when you gonna get married, sometimes they do that to the guys. They say when you gonna settle down to the guys.
Do the guys get it too?
But it's not as much because it's not like when you gonna settle down and have kids. It's more like when you gonna stop playing. That's the thing. It's like for the guys, it's like when are you gonna stop playing and settle down? Usually with a woman, it's like something wrong with you. You better get it together so you can have some kids and settle down. It's usually seen more as a negative on the woman's side than it is on the man's side, and that's unfortunate. But that's a cultural society thing that's out there. How much age difference is too much? That's actually a good question. I think it all depends. I mean, if you're 40 and the person's 25, what are y'all talking about? Like, really, what are y'all talking about? Why? I don't think there's a certain number on it, but you're 50, the person's 35. What are y'all doing? What? Like, again, some days I could be wrong about some things, and I'm not saying this in every case, but usually there's something else in there that's attracting this older person to this younger person. And sometimes it ain't God. So but I mean, again, it could be 40, 45, 50 and 40. They work 10 years apart. They work 11 years. They work. It all depends on you.
I would say the person.
Yeah. As the individual. We already know Maya's is a month, so we can't ask her. But
it's not a solid month.
But
over.
Just 2 months. But again, and again, like I said, you hear of people who married somebody 19, 20 years older than 15, and they work out.
Mhm.
That's why I said there's no hard number per se. But at the same time, you have to look at maturity. What are y'all talking about? At 50, your interests are something different compared to somebody that's 25.
Right.
What you're talking about is different. What you bring to the table is different. It's just the nature of the beast. I mean, I can't put a number on it, but there's a maturity gap in there.
Dre, I'm gonna get you.
Yo,
Yes.
you are not wrong for that. Always remember something, people of God, saints of the Most High. All right, is this someone that cannot apologize to you? They can't apologize to you because they feel like you're beneath them. They're sorry, but they don't have the humility enough to say it because they feel like you're not deserving of it coming out of their mouth. So they're afraid to do it. So what they do is they try to treat you better. Instead of saying sorry, they start buying you gifts. They start doing stuff for you. When the reality is you could save your money and just say,
Just say sorry.
Sorry.
It's a lot cheaper.
I know, but some people in their ego won't allow them to do that.
So on the other end of that, though, can you say, look, you just need to say sorry. I don't deserve to be treated this way. Can you hold them accountable?
Absolutely. Like you did something to me and you bought me a gift. I'm like, I accept the gift, but you need to apologize. Mm-hmm. We ain't creating that monster. Because what you do is if you start accepting the gift and the good treatment, it makes it okay. So now you taught them they don't have to apologize to you. Yeah. I see some people here talk the age gap. Again, like I said, the age gap, you can marry somebody older than you, younger than you. That's your prerogative, as long as it works. I'm just saying, by and large, the cases where it is working is compared to the ones that don't, I just say look at it. That's all. That's why I never put a number on the age gap marriage-wise. I couldn't put a number on that. It's one of those maturity things. But I know there are people that if you're 50, you're settled in your career, you're getting ready to get married, you're having a different conversation than somebody that's 25 that's just really getting into their career. Mm-hmm. It's a different thing. All right.
What makes a person cheat?
We talked about that some last week. The one last week still up?
Yeah, it's still in there.
Yeah, go watch the video from last Monday. We talked about just the nuance of cheating. Some people cheat because they're just trifling. Some people cheat because they feel like they're not being fulfilled, and then they end up doing something trifling. All of it's still trifling. Right. But that whole men cheat because they are just bad, and women cheat because they have a justified reason, that's out the door, because that's not true. Mm-hmm. That's not true at all. But a lot of people make bad decisions for crazy reasons. A lot of it's case by case, unfortunately. All right, so you want to talk about the school thing now?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Y'all pray for me.
That's exciting.
Whatever.
I'm not having to do the schoolwork, right?
Right. So there was a class being offered from a bishop that I know. I saw it on his Instagram page. I said, cool. Let me, I want to take this class. It's an 8-week course. I just want to learn about some stuff. And I'm like, bet. Cool. It's a topic I want to learn about. And I thought I was just, because it was a cheap registration price. And I thought we were just going to come on and just take like these online classes and just learn. So I register for it. I get the email and it's like, here's the 8 books you need to. I'm like, excuse me? The 8 books you need to buy. There's a paper due at the end. There's something called rubrics or something like that. Whatever it is. Just some grading system called rubrics. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what the heck it is. Uh-huh. You know what it is?
I've heard of it before, but not enough to try to explain.
Tiff was trying to explain to me. I kind of got it, but I don't. And I'm like, this is a class. I hit the bishop back. I was like, this is a class. Y'all got a syllabus. I'm like, I ain't wrote a paper in almost 20 years. And the bad part is this, it's got to be proper punctuation. It's got to be properly edited. I'm like, bruh, it's been over. So I'm sitting here like, he's like, oh, I just tell my students, if you can read 15 to 20 pages a day and take about 2 hours out of your day, I'm like 2 hours out of my day.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Right. I'm sitting there like this is why I did not go back to school. I'm like,
Oh, you didn't know about this getting into it?
huh?
You didn't know about all the work going
No,
into it?
no. I'll be totally honest with you. Family, I am not going to lie to you. If I knew it was this much work, I would
Oh,
not have
yeah.
taken the course. And if I didn't, well, Tasha, Tasha, hit me up later. Maybe you can help me understand some stuff. So else, I'll be honest with you. If I knew it was this much work, I probably would have taken the class. I like to learn, but I really don't want to take tests and all that stuff. But see, again, the research wasn't on the paper. The thing that was there was this is just a class on this. And I didn't know it was all this stuff. So there was no upfront,
Gotcha.
when you register, here's what it is. If I knew it was upfront, here's what it is. Cool.
So you didn't need to know, that's all.
Shut up. And I'm playing. Yeah. She's like my little sister, so don't mess with me. And here's the crazy thing, right? I hit the bishop up. I said, I'm going to register today. He said, hurry up and do it because the class is just about full. So it might not be open. He said, if the class is shut down, I might be able to work something to get you in. And I was like, cool. So if the registration shut down, I'll just hit him up. He can hook me up, if need be. So I registered for the class. He hit me up. He was like, yo, man, your registration went through right when the lady was about to shut down the class.
Wow.
And now, mind you, this is before I got the syllabus. And I hit him back. I said, look at God. I got it right in the nick of time. And as soon as I saw the syllabus, I was like,
oh, wait a minute.
So it starts. I have an orientation tomorrow. I had the syllabus. It's a class on patristics, something I'm really interested in. Patristics is the study of the early fathers of the church, like those that Peter and Paul and them mentored. And then those individuals who grew out of that movement of the original apostles in the book of Acts, and learning all that stuff. And I've always been I've always had an interest in it, and I started learning more about it in the past couple of years. So the class is on that. And I was like, it'll be cool for me to take. But I was like, Lord. And I was like, yo, look at God. He done got me in right in the nick of time. And I'm like, after it's over, this was Jesus. I've never liked school. Even when from elementary school, I've never liked school. I like to learn. I never liked it. So
it's all the tests and like writing papers, like that's the part that always got me. Is it really necessary?
Yeah, like really, can I just read a book and learn? I'm like, so tomorrow we have like an online orientation type thing. And I'm like, I'm not even can't even get a degree from this. It's like certificate. I'm like, but it's funny. We were talking about maximizing moments since this thing started, right? Having more time to do stuff. And I'm like, oh boy. So now, some of the classes are at nighttime and I'm either got to be here or be home, but wife is doing something and kids on me while I'm listening to the class. And I already had to ask, sometimes I got to be here at nighttime doing stuff. So if I miss a class, can I, get it? And he said, yeah, I can listen to it later. And then I found out it's got an attendance requirement too. So if you miss a certain certain classes that without approval, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. We had to put the accountability, thing in. Then you can't take the rest of the classes.
So it's live. It's a live class.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And then the bad part is I have to do good because I know the bishop. If I didn't know the person, then I'd be like, oh, whatever. I'll just get the information, read the books. Y'all can have that. I don't care. Now it's like, I got to see this person eventually.
That's funny. But it's good because it's kind of making you have to be mindful of your time and rearrange things. And that kind of goes to a question that I had, how do you balance everything?
You don't.
How do you balance between work and things that you just need to do for yourself?
You don't. The only way you do it is you schedule it. balance is not a straight line like this. Balance is this. So it's like a scale. So
Mm-hmm.
if we were still having power of God, then that week my life is like this.
Right.
It's all power of God for the most part. You know, I know I'm going to be here just about all day, even into the early late night, early morning, and then eventually after the week is over, it goes like
Mm-hmm.
this. So for 8 weeks, my life is going to be like this.
Right.
On top of what I'm doing here, taking care of family, doing all that stuff there, taking this class, and trying to find 2 hours a day to spend doing this thing, and then eventually after 8 weeks is over, it's going to balance out. And we're continuing to push new things around here.
Yeah.
So y'all, some of y'all may have to work. My work ain't stopped. We still here doing stuff. So, and then at the same time, I'm more of an in-class person too.
Okay.
You know, because I can't be distracted by what's going on here,
Right.
there, and there. Because I'm actually in the class.
Mm-hmm.
Versus now, I heard doing class online is actually harder because the distractions, the possible distractions around you.
A lot of the kids, due to this quarantine, have been having a hard time because they can't focus.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
it's very difficult to focus. So I'm just doing a lot of scheduling my time, and the way I'm going to do it, and the way all of you do it. If you have something big you need to do, break it down in increments.
Okay.
If you break it down in maybe 20-minute increments, you can get stuff done. So if you don't have a whole hour to do it, do 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here, half hour here, and break it up over the course of your day. So by the time you get done, you've done 2 to 3 hours worth of work. You just did it in segments.
Gotcha.
Eat an elephant one bite at a time.
So something that I struggle with, because I like to plan my day like that and do things in increments, but then I have a hard time actually sticking to my schedule.
That's a discipline thing.
Yeah.
It's really discipline. It's like Bishop said, I remember he did this one time. You kind of put your life on like a graph. Put the little thing up there, and you have the two sides. Mm-hmm. On one side you put negotiable, one side you put non-negotiable. Okay, and then the stuff that requirement for you, put them in a non-negotiable category, and you actually have to checklist or check it off to see, did you get it done today? Because it's in your non-negotiable phase.
Right.
Usually we don't do it because we see it as negotiable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do it right now because watch this. I can do it later.
Right.
When the reality is, no, I have to do it right. It's non-negotiable. I have to do it right now. Mm-hmm. Unless it's an emergency where I can't do it, I have to do it now. And you got to start seeing things in non-negotiables.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I guess I'll keep you guys updated on my.
Yeah, you should document it. Pastor Nick goes back to school. It'll be a whole series.
For what?
I don't know. Someone find interest in it, or even if you're just sharing, some of the stuff that you're learning.
I'll see. I'll see. But the cool thing is I like to learn, and I think the information, it will be won't be that complex for me to get. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm pretty intelligent for the most part. What you trying to say?
I didn't say nothing.
With your little 1 month. Just starting to read your Bible thing.
You said that too the other day. By the way, I heard you.
I know, it's funny too. It would never not be funny. but I think it'd be cool, and and it goes back. It's funny how your words come back to you. Mm-hmm. So you tell people they want to go back to school. I can't go back full time. We'll take one class at a time, and all of a sudden stuff comes back to you.
Yeah.
You end up eating your own words.
You can't say nothing now. So go ahead.
Okay.
I was going to ask a question, like, how do you manage, your family who are looking at you, like, hey, we used to do this, like, you're always busy, like that sort of thing.
Well, they're used to me being busy.
Okay, you, but like for other people.
Yeah. Oh, for other people. I heard Michelle Obama say this one time. She said that she told the kids, she trained her kids that when their dad was leaving, I know you're going to be sad, but she made it more of a celebratory kind of, not like, oh, dad's leaving, but like, okay, dad's going to go out and help us have a better life. Dad's going to go out and help. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. She made it, instead of turning it into a negative thing, she turned it into a positive. And I think a part of that is natural, that if you're going to have somebody in your life that's successful,
Right.
they're not going to have the same time frame as everybody else. They're not going to be home at 5 o'clock every day. And it's all about training. So when I get ready to leave, I'm like, all right, y'all, I'm going to work. You going to work? Yes, I'm going to work. You got to make money. Y'all like to eat, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So it helps out by making it normal, put it that way.
Right.
But at the end of and then when you do have time, you make sure you're home and you're home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not just isolating and not talking to nobody. You're home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are plenty of times I just want to go and just watch TV and nobody. But then I got 2 kids at home. I can't do that.
Right.
I want to start watching one thing. Can I watch Princess and Frog? Okay. And we sit there and we watch it.
Right. You gotta make the time. That's what Gary Diggs had mentioned in our live last week. You know, he's mentioned about how he's on the road a lot for, you know, work and playing music. But when he's home, he makes time to spend with his family and making that effort. So I think he said it was watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians with his daughter. Like, of course, you don't want to watch that, but it was important to make that time.
Yeah, you have to be intentional about doing it. You have to be, and make the most of the time that you have. So when my son first started going to school, every morning we had breakfast together. So, and usually I would take him to school before and so we had breakfast, take him to school. That was our time together.
Gotcha.
For the most part. So he got out of school and then I had a little time then to come back here. So it's all about maximizing the time that you have. You know? So my kids when they grow up, it's normal. Dad works.
Right.
But you know what's crazy though? I got to bring this up. Because I'm a pastor, people don't look at it like it's work. But if I worked at the plant and had to work a 10-hour shift, people would look at that like it's okay.
It's true. I get that.
They would never say you're neglecting your family. They would say you're doing what you got to do to provide for your kids. But because you work at a church and you're a pastor and all people think we do is teach and preach, that's it, that we neglect our family. And that's not true. This requires work.
Yeah. A lot of hard work. Yeah. I mean, I get that too with social media, though it's not the same thing. Like, people don't think of social media being on Facebook and Instagram as being work.
You mean those people posting modeling pictures are working?
Hello, it's work. They're getting paid for it too. They do it the right way.
And they are getting paid for it.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Wait,
but no, it's work. You have to look at the analytics and the sciences, psychology, and all that stuff too. So it's work.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
I know the answer to this, I think, but I was thinking about this. Now that most pictures on social media now, even just regular everyday pictures, are airbrushed, doctored, and filtered. I wonder sometimes, I know the answer to this. I wonder sometimes, what is that doing to our young people when all the pictures they see are all doctored up? What does that do to their self-image? And what does that do to how they present themselves when they don't think about it, that the person that they see online doesn't really even look like that in real life? Yeah. If that makes sense.
It makes sense. I think it does a lot. Like, even just looking at kids today, these kids today look a whole lot, they look older than I do now. Like, they're very grown and got the tips on and the makeup. Like, you're not taking the time just to be a kid. So I think it changes that. But in terms of like confidence and self-esteem, I feel like it creates standards that people feel that they need to live up to in order to be liked or appreciated. I was watching something the other day about how this person got creases put in her eye.
Creases?
Yeah, because I don't know what it's called. She didn't have like an eyelid or something. Okay. So like, she took that and got the surgery done and was hoping that people would like her more because of all like the K-pop stars that she was trying to emulate.
Okay. Interesting. But but it does make sense. I mean, look at all what they call the IG models. Everybody's trying to be an IG model.
Yeah.
And how many people are going to like the Dominican Republic and Mexico to get these plastic surgeries
Dying.
and end up coming back dying, or they get sick, stuff ruptures, and it looks like a caricature of a real person. Nobody's waist is that small in circumference to the rest of their body. I'm sorry. It's not naturally possible.
Yeah.
But this quest to look this certain way, how can I say this nicely, is making people look disproportionate and off, and and they think because they're getting feedback that they look at the attention, and that attention's enough, which is kind of that concerns me. And I can see why a lot of people in the social media industry don't let their kids on like that, because they don't want their kids growing up with all that.
No, people are very impressionable. But it works the other way too. Like in the plus size industry, people turn on you if you start losing weight.
Yeah, they do. One of us, we don't like you, and you don't like yourself no more. And when did trying to and I'm not talking about size here. People are going. Everybody's not going to be a size 30 for a guy, size 4 for one, whatever, 28, 6, 7 for women, whatever. Nobody's going to be there. But what's wrong with being in the best shape for you?
Right.
And here's my thing. If you're that oh Lord, we jumping into trouble now. If you're that secure in who you are, why do you have to go around telling everybody how good you feel about yourself? Because if you're secure in who you are, then you're just it.
I've come to see that a lot of it too is all talk.
It is. I love myself. And then somebody, as soon as somebody about you, I don't like the way you look. You guys are so mean. And I thought you loved yourself. I'm not saying that those people are right in what they're saying. But, and I'm not saying that, words don't hurt, but to me, it feels like it's a trying to force a security that's not there.
Yeah, it's fake. And you can tell the people who, it's authentic, like they really are secure. It's more, what am I trying to say? It's a little less like flashy, for lack of better words.
Yeah.
Like, this is just who I am.
Right. Yeah, and I'm good with who I am. And confidence goes a long way.
Yeah.
It really does. It goes a long way. All right, it's 2:00, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
we've been on here for an hour. We talked about a lot of stuff today.
I know. We done jumped into the hole this last part. But I am nervous. I mean, about things like this, you can't take a normal picture without filtering yourself. Now people are no longer smiling in pictures now because they want model look or the duck look, or you worried about crease lines and all that stuff like that. I get people want to look their best, but I'm like, come on, y'all.
Yeah.
This is
it's okay to take care of yourself. But
yeah. It's like, does everything have to be a model picture? I don't know. Maybe I'm getting grumpy and old in my, at my age now.
You're not gonna take no duck pictures, Pastor Nick? No duck face pictures?
It's time to go, y'all. I almost said something on this slide that get me in trouble. We hope you guys enjoyed the conversation again today. So what else is going on this week, Maya?
So let me pull up my schedule. We have Desiree Archie, who's coming with us tomorrow for some yoga and some things that we all can do while we're at home. And for seniors or people with delicate knees like me, that we can all do to stay healthy while we're kind of stuck at home. We're also doing, of course, we have Word Impact on Wednesday. We have Cooking with Chef on Thursday at 1. It's a Mother's Day edition, so things that people can cook at home to treat their mom for Mother's Day. And then later that evening, we're doing a passive income, how to make money online. So that's going to be cool. Pastor Nick is teaching a part of that, and Reverend Valders and Moses is going to be here. And then Friday morning, we have our B-sides discussion. So what we're doing, go ahead.
What is that? I saw that. What is that?
Right. So that is special to our Facebook group, a Bethany iFamily group.
Okay.
Where we're talking about service. So it's that hour discussion that we had between what was it 9 and 11 o'clock?
Yeah.
Is that discussion.
Okay.
So we're actually showing it live in our Facebook group on Friday at around 12, and
Okay.
then it will play again on our Bethany page at 10.
Okay. All right, that's cool. So y'all stay tuned to all our stuff. Oh, how do they become a member of Bethany IFAM? Did you tell them?
Yep. So we post it on our timeline from time to time. But if you go to facebook.com/groups/Bethany IFAM, you'll see the group there that you can join.
Okay, good. We hope you guys are enjoying these conversations. We're going to keep these motivational Mondays going, and join us for the rest of the week on all of our good stuff. I will not be doing yoga tomorrow. I can't wait to work out. How many of y'all gained weight during this time? It is bad. Y'all pray for me.
Yeah.
They made some muffins at the house. I ate like 4 of them. It's like they just made them. It's like an hour later. I just kept going down, taking some. Oh my God.
Well, the good thing, the weather's nicer now.
Yes, I got like I got the COVID. I didn't gain that. I think I maybe gained about 5. But the COVID 5. It's not good, but y'all pray for us, please. Pray my strength in the Lord so I can cut back on the eating. All right. We hope you guys are enjoying these conversations. We love y'all. Don't forget to join us the rest of the week. We have a great Bible study coming up Wednesday and more. And y'all, every time you see Maya, just say a month.
Oh,
a month. All right, y'all. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.